Hey everyone, welcome to today's podcast. Where we're talking about easy weight loss. How can you lose weight in the easiest way possible? That's the question I'm putting to you. And I don't have the exact answer because what's easy for one person is not easy for another. So I'm putting this question out there as a starting point for you to start asking, because I'm going to guess that you have not been asking this question. Most likely you have been assuming that weight loss has to be hard. It's got to be really difficult and challenging and a lot of willpower and fight it out and tough it out. But that's the problem. I think that you subconsciously just assume that weight loss has to be this miserable process because you've been conditioned how to think about weight loss by diets. And the diets really are all about fast weight loss. And if the only thing you care about is fast weight loss, you have to understand that that means usually almost every single time hard weight loss, right? Because the fastest weight loss you can achieve is done through the most extreme measures. And the most extreme measures are usually the hardest measures to do. Okay. And so what's happening is that probably the way you're thinking about weight loss is how can I just want to lose weight? I just want to lose as fast as possible. Well, obviously, the only thing that's going to make you lose as fast as possible is the hardest things, right? So I'm asking you to start from a different point of a starting point here, where it's not about how can I lose weight the fastest. It's about how can I lose weight in the easiest way possible. And this question changes everything because you can lose weight easily. You can. You have not been asking that question. You've been asking how can I lose the fastest, and that sends you on the wrong path. But if you start asking yourself the question, what is the easiest way possible for me to lose weight? And you consistently think on this question and you come up with strategies and try them out and you keep optimizing and tweaking them for the easiest way possible. This is what happens. You start finding strategies that are easy for you. And most importantly, when you start to discover these easy strategies, what happens in your brain is you say, holy shit, I could keep this up. Not only could I lose weight, but I could keep it off for the rest of my life. And this is where things really start to become different, because in your mind right now, you probably don't believe that you can lose the weight, A, but I almost guarantee that you do not believe you can keep the weight off. And the reason all comes back to the same thing, because you only think about weight loss in extreme ways. You only think about, tomorrow cutting down to 1,200 calories, tomorrow, no more carbs, tomorrow, no more sugar. And it's such an extreme overcorrection that really what's happening is you're having this panic reaction to it, right? It's too much. Every time you try and lose weight, you feel overwhelmed. You're stressed out. And this is the big reason why you can't stick with it to get the results you want in the first place, and then not to keep them, right? 95% of people that lose weight on a diet put it back on. Why is that? Because the methods they're using are too difficult. They're not easy for them. So I challenge you to begin asking this question. What's the easiest way possible? Now, I will let you know that what really makes this question take off is when you give yourself more time. If you can get out of the mindset of how fast can I lose the weight and start thinking, how much weight will I lose in the next year if I do this simple, smart, easy process? I'm going to give myself some time. I'm going to relax. And I know you say, I want to lose weight fast. I get that. But how much weight have you lost in the last 6 months? How much weight have you lost in the last year? Well, if that number is 0 or you've put weight on, please use that as reason enough to start extending that time frame. Give yourself a year and start asking the question every day, how can I make this even easier? How can I make it easier to eat healthy? How can I make it easier to cut my calories down? How can I make it easier to start getting some more activity, movement in my life? How can I make it easier to start drinking more water, getting more sleep, doing all the things that help you to live at your goal weight forever? And 1 year from now, if you take this path, I guarantee you, you will have a whole stable of strategies that you have at your disposal that allow you to not only lose the weight, so you'll be multiple pounds lighter, but more importantly, you will have a strategy and an understanding of how to do it in an easy way. And if you know how to lose weight easily, that means you know how to keep the weight off forever. Okay, so I urge you, please get yourself on this path. Start asking this question today, right now, and start answering it. Get obsessed with this question. And I guarantee you, very quickly, you're going to start to have strategies that you've never had in your life before. And there's a good chance that they're going to make all the difference in the world, so that, again, you lose the weight that you want to lose, but more importantly, are able to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on near autopilot. So I wish you the best with this. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I will do my best to answer them. Let's see here. Get down. Hi, Karen. What's up? Hi, I'm loving the program, changing my life. That's so awesome, Karen. I'm glad. Yeah, you listen to those sessions. So yeah, what she's referring to is Program Yourself Then is my program, and There's a lot to it, but one of the big parts of it is that I deliver through your phone, and every morning you get a 5-minute hypnosis session. Every evening you get a sleep hypnosis session that's 10 minutes. And again, speaking of easy weight loss, this is probably one of the easiest ways possible to lose weight, because what it does, it bookends your day and it causes you to start thinking differently. The goal is to help you to create a thin and healthy mindset. And when you think like a thin and healthy person, you behave like a thin and healthy person, right? And then you become one. So that's kind of the key thing. Annette says, I'm stressed about working out. Ugh, if I don't work out, I feel like I'm not improving. Okay. Yeah. Common, right? So there's a couple ways to approach this. I think the first step you've already done, right, is having awareness, right? What are you feeling? So I feel stressed about working out. You want to work out, but subconsciously it creates a stress state. Okay. So there's a couple ways to go at this. The first one I would suggest is, now I don't know where you're at with the working out. If you could answer this, would be helpful. If I could tailor the answer to you. Have you been working out and now you don't want to keep doing it? It's kind of, you're getting stressed about having to continue it, or you want to start working out and you're stressed about kind of getting yourself to start, right? Because those are two different things and they require different solutions, So again, I'm a big believer that every solution should be tailor-made for you. And so the more I understand about your specific situation, I think the more valuable, answer I could give you. But this is a common thing. So I'm going to answer it as if you have not worked out yet and you want to start. Okay. Because that's applicable to more people probably. And so if you, been walking for 3 years, 4 miles a day, I'm just over it. Okay. You're tired of it. All right. Okay. So this is interesting. I wasn't thinking you were going to say that. Very interesting. And this happens, right? You're just bored with it now, right? Tired of it. It's just boring and you don't like it anymore. So this is a nice position to be in though, really, right? Because you got a lot of momentum behind you. Your body's in good shape. You're used to walking, all the rest of it. So that's super. So now the question becomes really one of optimization. Okay. So you've got most of the behaviors there and it's good. Okay. You're walking at a certain time of day. You're walking for a certain amount of time during the day. Your body's in that shape. And so now what we want to do is I would suggest keep that time period, like when you typically walk, right? Because again, remember folks, there's a thing in our brain called procedural memory. This is what drives most of our behavior. It's almost literally like a computer, like behaviors are programmed in. And so your walking most likely follows patterns. Maybe you do it in the morning every morning, or maybe do it in the afternoon, or it may depend on the day. But you have very specific routines most likely for when you're walking. I would keep those, I call them habit containers. I would keep the container, the time when you're doing it, and I would start to seek out different exercises to do during there, different ways to do it, right? It may not be the walking. It may be the fact that you've been walking and just kind of walking without any, headphones in or anything like that. You're getting bored of that. Maybe like listening to a podcast, listening to music, that might be a solution. Maybe you're just sick of walking. It's boring to you now. So maybe you could start riding a bike, right? Maybe you could do some other exercise, some other activity in that period of time. Okay. And it doesn't have to necessarily be even, right? So meaning, maybe you get 4 miles a day. I don't know. Maybe that's whatever. Let's just say 8,000 steps. Let's just ballpark it. So the alternative doesn't have to be the equivalent of 8,000 steps. Doesn't have to be more than that. Understand that this is a period of time where I need a little bit of a break. It's almost like a walk vacation. And so if you do an activity that's equivalent to like 6,000 steps, don't feel like you're going backwards necessarily. It's just kind of a refresh period. All right. However, if you want to push yourself more, that's fine too. So again, I know the answer I'm giving you is probably not satisfying. You just want to hear me say one thing, but the way I always help people is really seeing their situation and then understand there is no right or wrong. There's only what works for you, and giving yourself some flexibility. Okay. Because what we do not want to do is what you're doing right now is you're forcing yourself to walk. You're over it. You're done with it. And now it's becoming a chore. Now it's become something I don't like doing it. And so when we feel that way, we don't want to feel that way, because as soon as you're forcing yourself to do something with willpower, that's probably going to be a temporary thing. You're on a bad path. Okay. So instead of forcing ourselves to do something we don't like doing, I suggest kind of taking a step back and getting creative, understanding the situation and saying, how can I make this better? What are some things I might like to do during that time that are going to meet the criteria and the goals that I have? Okay. So I hope this helps you out a little bit. Janet says, I've lost over 100 pounds 3 times in my life. I hope are you still in the 100 pounds down? I hope so. Because, I've had to have 6 hip replacement surgeries on the same here without exercise. What do I do? Okay. So that's tough, right? That's tough. And this is this is literally the reason why I get out here for free, do lives every day, podcast videos. exactly for this reason, because you're the person who is putting so much energy and effort into succeeding. And the problem is not you. The problem is that you don't have any real strategy. You have probably lost that weight 3 times by following some diet, Weight Watchers, keto, calorie restriction, intermittent fat, whatever you chose. Again, every diet is one tactic, and it's not enough for people to really master their weight long term. This is why diets, again, have a 95% failure rate long term. Okay. And so you're now probably in this tough spot. Again, folks, the worst thing that can happen really isn't trying a diet and not losing weight. It's trying a diet and losing weight and then putting it back on. That is typically one of the worst things a person can experience because it's so devastating. Subconsciously, you start associating, even when I lose weight, I'm failing. And that's where, again, a lot of my clients come to work with me at that point, because they're thinking about weight loss all day long, but they can't get themselves to start doing anything. And it's because subconsciously they don't believe they can lose the weight anymore. So why even put the effort and time into it? And so what I would suggest to you is that you don't look back at those 3 times as failures. You look back at them as opportunities to learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And I would suggest that what you need to do now is you have got to change your approach. It cannot just be a diet. It cannot just be you following keto, following intermittent fasting, following a plan. It really needs to become this inside out approach, this holistic, comprehensive approach to transforming yourself from the inside out into the person you want to be. And one aspect of that person is that you weigh your goal weight. Okay. But it needs to be a bigger process than just the diets, right? Because you've done this, Janet, right? You've changed all your behaviors externally, but you didn't really change how you thought, how you felt, what you believed about yourself on the inside. And so you forced yourself to act differently for a little while, and then you reverted back to how you always behaved. You see? So again, program yourself, then we go to a deeper level of creating change in you. And right from the beginning, it's about transformation. It's about becoming the person you want to be, not just losing weight. And I think that's an important piece. And as far as the exercise goes, if you're just starting out with exercise, probably the best thing you could all do, and I do the exact same thing here, is if you have not been exercising, you want to start, I think the best thing you could do in the world is really start focusing on consistency first. Okay. And you can create consistency very easily. See, what the big mistake a lot of people make is that all or nothing mindset. So it's like you haven't worked out in 5 years and now you want to start working out. You're like, last time I worked out, I used to work out, 4 times a week for an hour. And now you think that's what you got to start with. Again, that's the classic diet response, whether it's a diet or an exercise. It's like you jump into it way too fast. You overcorrect all, nothing and then all. And it's overwhelming. And when it comes to working out, in addition, you get sore, you get tired, you get hungrier. And so there's a lot of extra kind of negative effects of that. So what I would suggest is the first step to creating an exercise routine is to make it really simple, really, really simple. And again, just like I was saying before with the walking to Annette, is that the first phase of starting to exercise is to choose a time when you're going to exercise. And so the first thing is to be consistent with that time. So let's just say ultimately your ultimate goal is I want to go to the gym 4 days a week and do a full workout, 4 days a week. Well, the first step might be like, okay, well, when are you going to go to the gym? Okay, I look at my schedule. The time I got eight in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. You pick a time. And the first step I would do is I say, let me start. Again, I haven't worked out in 5-10 years. Let me start by just walking. Let me go for a bike ride. Just something really simple, 5 minutes. Because the first goal is just to say, okay, that 8 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, this is when I exercise. And you make it really simple. You get rid of all the barriers, right? If you go for a 15-minute walk, a 10-minute bike ride, you're not going to be sore. You're not going to be tired. You're not going to be dreading it. So you're more likely to do it. And for a couple of weeks, couple months, that's what you do. And you get used to doing something exercise activity wise at that time of day. And as you get used to it, then you start adding to it. Maybe once a week, one of those times you go to the gym, you know what I mean? You start building on it. Now, of course, I know this isn't exciting for a lot of people because you just want to just jump right in and get instant results. But you have got to, at some point, folks, you've got to wake up and realize this approach of trying to get instant results is what is literally dooming you to get no results. And so if you're on here not getting results and you just don't want to do anything slowly, you've got to address that. And I know it's hard. I know we're all impatient. I get it. And on top of that, when it comes to weight loss, we're all conditioned to just think about instant results. So I recognize it's difficult, but it's absolutely crucial that you deal with this because your impatience is probably one of the biggest challenges you have to overcome. All right. Jan says, sorry to say my way to the back up to 3:30. Yep. Ton of exercise. All right. Naja says, hello, you're helping me so much. I lost 19 pounds so far. Naja, that's awesome. We'll take a picture of that. That's really great. Congratulations, Naja. That's awesome. Love hearing that. Janet says, this is so true. Are you a psychic? Thank you. I'm in the water doing aerobics. Hey, good for you, Janet. It is like I'm a psychic, isn't it? I know. I get on here every day. I listen, I've been doing this personally for 30 years, 20 years professionally, done over 5,000 private weight loss sessions. What I do is unique in the weight loss arena, I will say. And it simply comes down to this, that I think if you look at how you've been trying to lose weight, the diets, the workouts, the doctors and nutritionists, however far you've gone with things, that they all have one thing in common. And it's that they're just telling you what to do. They're always just telling you what to do, what to eat, how to work out, what to do. And then they give you the plan, and then it's up to you to get yourself to do it. And how do you get yourself to do it? Well, you use your willpower and try and force yourself to do it. And this becomes the core problem that never in your entire, now notice this, before I tell you, I want you to realize you do not have this answer. And this is why you're struggling. It's not because you don't have the diet information. It's not because you don't know what to eat or what not to eat primarily. It's because you don't know how to change your behavior. You know what you should and shouldn't eat pretty much. You can't get yourself to do that consistently. And this is the recurring struggle that you have. And no diet's going to fix this for you. So this is really where I come into play, and I come into play telling you that I had to kind of create a lot of this myself. Like I'm just obsessed. I read 50 books a year. I've done all these private. I've myself lost 50 pounds and changed how I think, live, eat. And I'm always learning and creating this because who are you learning this from, folks? who are you learning how to create a thin and healthy mindset from? A weight loss mindset. Where are you learning that from? I think and not only that, but mindset and lifestyle are big buzzwords now in the weight loss world. But I find what a lot of times what people say when they say mindset is they don't really even understand what mindset is. They're just using it as shorthand for having more willpower, right? Just do it. You got to have the right mindset. Just come on, like do it. Just do it. And here you are, you think about weight loss all day long, but you can't get yourself to do the right things. And so again, the reason I'm here right now talking to you, and I do this every day for free, is because to me, weight loss and weight in general is life and death. It's very serious. And I know that you're probably at your wit's end. You're frustrated. You think about it all the time and you're not getting the results you want. You've lost weight and you put it back on, devastating. And you don't know what to do. And the problem is that you take it on as a personal shortcoming. And I'm here to tell you, if you get nothing else out of this, that it's not your fault. It's not a personal shortcoming. It's not because you don't have willpower. It's because you have never learned the strategies you need to take control of your behaviors. You do not know how to influence your behaviors other than willpower. You don't know how to change your thinking and influence it. You don't know how to change how you feel. And you do not know how to change your habits and your habitual behaviors, And so, this is what I'm trying to tell you, because you create this false belief that no matter what I do, I can't lose the weight. And that is not true, because you have never learned the most important piece of how to lose the weight and keep it off, which is how to change your mindset. And so I want you to not take it personally. And I want you to realize that it's not a personal shortcoming. It's that you have had a horseshit strategy to try and lose weight, which is dieting. It's just telling you what to do. And you have no idea how to change who you are. And that's what I help people with. And part of what I do to help people is I know how you think. I can sit here and tell you all how you think more than you know when it comes to weight loss. It's truth, because we're not very aware of our own thoughts anyways. Do you know you have an internal dialogue? Like you talk to yourself in your head, right? That little voice, right? In hypnosis world, we always say you are your own best or worst hypnotist. It is that voice that has more impact on your weight than anything else. And you have almost no awareness of this voice. And if you do, you almost have zero ability to influence it. But when you can influence this voice in your head, when you start thinking differently, you start acting differently. And when you start acting differently, you obviously get the results you're looking for. But this is not how you're approaching weight loss. You know what I mean? You're approaching it as the person I always am. Now I'm going to force myself to do this crazy thing. You do it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, then you go back to the mean, right? It's always like, again, it's nothing. All or nothing is how we typically say it, all or nothing. And your normal mindset is an overweight mindset where, again, you're not doing anything, but you're overweight. Just the natural way you think, eat, and live keeps you overweight. And then you jump up to doing the diet mindset for a little while. You do that for a little bit. And then what do? You go back to the norm, go back to my normal way of thinking and living and eating, my overweight one. And so your whole life, tell me this isn't true, your whole life here in terms of weight loss, has been overweight mindset, diet mindset. Nothing, all, nothing. Overweight, diet, overweight, diet, overweight, diet. And even Janet over here has lost 100 pounds. What happens? Because sometimes we stay in the diet mindset for a while. But then what happens? You know what happens? A vacuum. I can't be overweight anymore. I can't be a dieter anymore. I lost all the weight. Now there's a vacuum. What do you think like now? And here's the big problem. You have to be able to think like a thin, healthy person. And no one ever teaches you how to think like a thin, healthy person. You don't even realize that's the goal. You think you're going to be the same person, but you're going to force yourself to act differently. That's the plan forever. And as we all find out, as Janet's found out 3 times, it doesn't work. You have to transform from the inside out into the person you want to be. So program yourself. Then we start day 1. It's not about weight loss primarily. We take the weight loss, we wrap it in personal development. So it's not about Janet losing another 100 pounds. It's about Janet becoming the best version of you that you can be, the best Janet possible. That's the primary goal. One aspect of that is weighing what you want. For sure, it's about weight loss, but you cannot let weight loss be the primary only thing, because the weight loss stops at some point, folks. The big dieter mistake is this. You got the pleasure of the food, right? And then you give up the pleasure of the food and you trade it for what? You trade it for the pleasure of the scale going down, right? But then the scale stops going down when you get to the goal weight. Where's your pleasure coming from now? Oh, from being thin. Then why did 95% of people put the weight back on? There's nothing to look forward to in that situation. Can't look forward to the food. Can't look forward to the weight loss. And you don't know how to think. You don't know how to think like a thin, healthy person. So, again, when we switch, again, this is the framing piece of it. When we frame things differently, it changes the entire process, So I think it's almost impossible. You're trapped in a dieter's mindset. And I'm telling you, that's the core problem you have, is you think like a dieter. And a dieter is someone who's overweight who always thinks about losing weight. You never think about how to be the best Janet, the best version of me, the version of me that's thin and healthy automatically and naturally. You have no way to reinforce that. You're never going about it that way. What you're doing is you're thinking, what's wrong with me? How can I get to a plan? Why do I put that 100 pounds back on? Why can't I do this? Why do I keep eating shitty food? You keep thinking about all the problems, and you put no time towards figuring out who you want to be, thinking about who you want to be, building up that version of you. So again, program yourself then. A big part of the program is bookending your day with these hypnosis sessions, a 5-minute one in the morning, 10-minute one at night. And each one of those sessions has a weight loss mantra in it. And what happens is at the end of the 8 weeks, you have 67 mantras floating in your brain that have been installed there in a hypnotic way, so that you have new thoughts and ideas in your mind, new ways to think about food, yourself, your behaviors, all the rest of it that are not there now. And I'm telling you, this is the main thing driving your behavior. But anyways, I get a little caught up there. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I've always made my own plans, but I always had so much exercise involved. Yep. That's so true. It's all about what's in your head and how you perceive yourself. You're spot on, mister. Thank you. Truth. Right? All true. Hypnosis works. Hey, Nippy Zippy, how you doing? How you been? Where are you at with everything? What's up, Deb? For the 8-week program, do we always have access to the videos afterwards? Yeah, absolutely, Deb. Yeah, you got lifetime access to the membership. And on top of that, Deb, I'm about to kind of like, it's the same kind of information, but I'm going to package it in I think a better conceptual understanding. And this is for everyone. Listen, folks, if you have not gotten on my email list, go get on it. Okay. You can go to my bio, click the link at the top there, a little picture of me, brings you to the bio, click the link in the bio for the free hypnosis session. It's literally, it's a free hypnosis. It's a 10-minute session called The New Thin Me. It's a weight loss kickstart session. So listen to that, test out hypnosis, my hypnosis specifically. I'm not a regular hypnotist. Most hypnotists, and again, I love my fellow hypnotists. Most hypnotists are kind of part-time, people. I've been doing this. I've done over 5,000 private weight loss sessions. I'm one of the top weight loss hypnotists on the planet. Okay. It's a free session. Go get it and listen to it. But more important than the session is as soon as you sign up for that, I give you a training, 3 steps to master your weight. You really ought to watch that if you would like to live at your goal weight. Okay. It's a completely different approach and concept of how to master your weight. Stuff you've never thought about. That's going to be very helpful. So go get it. But the other thing is that if you get on my email list, I'm also got a training I'm going to give out to everyone, which is the Weight Mastery Pyramid. Okay. This is really cool. And I was working on it today. It's good. But Deb, for you, I'm going to do a training and you'll get a note for this. I'm hoping next week. But I will send out to everyone who's in the program. This will be updated in the membership area. And you have lifetime access to the membership area, and you have lifetime access to all the updates I make, and I got some new sessions coming as well. Is there a book that talks directly about thinking like a thin person? Well, I'm working on one right now, Janet, but nah, not that I know of. I don't know. I don't really know. Thinking like a thin person. I mean, I'm sure there is. I don't know. I'm so, what's a good book to talk about mindset of thin? I don't see a lot of them, to be honest. I'm on my own tip here. I just, you know what I mean? Like what I'm talking about is really like it's proprietary, I suppose you would call it. I've got a unique background, like I actually got a degree in finance and investments, but I lost 50 pounds, just transformed everything to me while I was in school. And I was so just amazed at the results I got, that I ended up, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I got certified as a, master hypnotist, neurolinguistic programming trainer, yoga instructor, strategic coach. And so I'm just studying like all different things that I think would help my clients, not just lose weight, but lose weight easily, comfortably, and for good. That's the main thing. So my goal that I always work with people is not, and I suggest this to you folks, don't let your goal be, I want to lose weight. Let your goal be, I want to return to my goal weight and live the rest of my life in my goal weight on near autopilot. That's a much more specific and accurate goal for what you want. And your subconscious mind is very literal. So you need to be very specific with what you want. If you just keep saying, all I care about is losing weight, I mean, to me, and again, you buy into this or don't, but as a hypnotist, I think this literally is a big part of why most people, 95% of people, lose weight. And then what do they do? What do? They put it back on so that what? They can lose weight, So I think if all you care about is losing weight, I swear, I think that's a part of the puzzle why people lose the weight. And then they get here. And if all you've been saying for the last 10 years, I just want to lose weight, I just want to lose weight, I just want to lose weight. Okay, well, here you go. The weight's gone. But what are you thinking now? It's like vacuum, So you don't want to lose weight. That the weight loss is the temporary phase, folks, right? It's only gonna take a couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years to lose the weight. Then you get to your goal weight, and then what? I always ask people, well, what are you going to do once you get to your goal weight? I'll figure it out then, Jim. You'll figure it out then. You haven't figured it out the last 4 times. No one else figures it out. Why would you just magically figure it out all of a sudden? Because again, the main motivation when you're losing weight is that scale going down. And so what's going to replace your motivation? What's going to keep you motivated once the scale stops going down? Well, I'm going to be thin. Well, you're already at that weight at one point in your life already, and you put the weight back on. So what is going to be different in your head? Again, most people I see, they got an overweight mindset, a diet mindset, and they just keep going between them for the rest of their lives. You need to start developing a thin and healthy mindset right now. You need to start with your maintenance plan. This isn't about losing weight. It's about getting to your goal weight and staying there for the rest of your life on near autopilot, not staying there for the rest of your life dieting and being miserable, on near autopilot. Hope it makes sense. Yep. Nippy Zippy, Hypno works. I've lost 2 stone, now starting an exercise program. I'm amazed. Nippy Zippy, all right, good job. Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect, thank you very much. Yep, no, that's the name of the book. Write it, please. Yeah, write it. Well, the name of the book, yeah, I'm working on the title of it. It might be Program Yourself, then we'll see, if I want to call it that. I actually have 2 books in my mind, but I got to get through the first one first. But the first one's going to be a shorter one, and I got kind of outlined. And then the bigger one I want to write is I'm pretty excited about. But I want to lay out the Program Yourself Thin. Again, Program Yourself Thin's a course. You know what I mean? So I you can invest me. Again, I'll help you out for free too, folks. I want you to understand that. But yeah, there's a program you can work with me. You know what I mean? I can literally coach. I got a coaching call coming up in 15 minutes here, where you work with me twice a week for 8 weeks, which is tremendously valuable. Again, I got to tell you, I don't sound on the top. Because it's 25 grand to work with me privately. I don't want to say like, am I the number one weight loss hypnotist on the planet? I don't even consider myself just a hypnotist, though. I really do think I'm a coach as well. But I literally, I'm obsessed with this stuff. And this is what I do day in and day out for 30 years now, 20 years professionally. And yeah, being able to work with me is anyways. Crafty Granny, listening to your podcast, can you recommend a meditation video? Thanks. Yeah, I mean, a meditation video, I'd go to my YouTube channel, Jim Katsoulis is what that one's called. And I've got a bunch of meditation videos up there, hour-long ones you listen as you go to sleep, about all different things, but there's weight loss ones as well. And then there's my program too. Again, Program Yourself Thin, there's 2 versions. There's the one where I work with you, I coach with you. And there's another one where it's a lot less, and it's just the whole program. But the whole program, this is why I say, like, there's no hypnosis program, there's no weight loss program like this on the planet. But certainly with hypnosis, there is no hypnosis program like this on the planet. Okay. Most hypnosis programs for weight loss are 2, 3, 4 hypnosis sessions. That's not going to do shit for you long-term, folks. I'm just letting you know. My program is ultimately it's almost 100 hypnosis sessions, but 70 of those are delivered very strategically each day, 5 minutes in the morning, a 10-minute night one. Each morning one is unique. So there's 57 unique 5-minute hypnosis sessions in the morning listen to. The sleep gnosis sessions, there's 8 of those total. So each week you get one, and each one has a core weight loss mantra in it. And that's a 10-minute one. And you listen to that same one for the week each day to really drive that message home. And then there's a hypnosis library with another, 25 sessions in it. There's a hypnotic lap band session, dealing with emotional eating, just all the important things, so that's in there as well. And then that's just part of it. The hypnosis is great, but again, there's these weight mastery blueprints. I take you through those trainings. You fill out the workbook. So yeah, go check it out. programyourselfthin.com. And you can see what that's all about. This makes so much sense. I've been there, and yes, we literally sabotage ourselves. Now, listen, I don't think you sabotage yourself. I got a bone to pick with that framing of things. I don't think you sabotage yourself as much as you never learned. You have never learned how to influence your thinking, how you feel, how to strategically influence your habits and behaviors. You've never learned those things. You're given the diet plan, the workout plan, and then you try and force yourself to do it with your willpower. And if you don't know anything about, and again, here we go. I'm going to guess you don't know anything about what I'm about to say. And I want you to appreciate that, because as soon as I say it, you're like, oh yeah. But I want you to realize, here you are. You've been trying to lose weight for probably 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Obsessively thinking about it. I know you're a smart person. I know you're an overthinker, because if you're here listening to me, you're an overthinker. You're probably on the perfectionist scale. You're probably successful in other areas of your life, and you struggle with this one. And you're like, what the fuck I don't understand. Why is this happening? And it's because you do not even understand the most basic structure of your mind. Okay. Which I'm going to share with you. And I want you to realize, before I even tell it to you, that this is why you're not successfully losing weight. It's not because you don't have the willpower. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you have never learned the most basic of concepts of how to influence your mind, starting with the point that you don't really even understand how your mind works in a practical way. Okay. And so what you have is, you have two minds. You have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the logical, rational part of your brain. This is the part of your brain that wants you to lose weight, knows why you should lose weight, knows what you should do to lose weight, and tries to get you to do it. This is where your willpower is. That's about 10% of your brain anatomically. It's your prefrontal cortex. It's the evolutionary newest part of your brain. Prefrontal cortex, that's your logical part. That's where your willpower is. That's where all the plans, and I should do keto, I should do sugar because of this, and I should do intermittent fasting because of this. And the rest of your brain is your subconscious mind. And this part of your brain runs very much differently. It's not logical and rational like your conscious mind. If you were a purely logical, rational creature, you would have no problem with your weight, because you would just do what made sense. But we are not logical, rational creatures, folks. We are not at all. We are subconscious creatures who associate things together. And so this subconscious part of your mind is the part of your mind that runs all your habitual thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This is where your eating habits are stored. Okay. Just like you have a toothbrushing habit that runs automatically, right? You're aware when you brush your teeth a little bit, but it's primarily just this automated behavior you have. You get up in the morning, next you're brushing your teeth. You're getting ready to go to bed, and next you know, you're brushing your teeth right before that. And so that's a behavior that just runs on autopilot. And so what you're trying to do when you try to lose weight is, you are trying to use your conscious mind to fight against your subconscious programming. And it does not work, because your subconscious mind is very energy efficient. This is the part of your brain that knows how to ride a bike, right? This is why you can learn how to ride a bike, not ride a bike for 70 years, get on a bike, and you know how to ride it. Okay. So this part of your brain is extremely energy efficient. It stores all the behaviors that you have learned in your life. This is where your eating behaviors are. So for example, let's just say you have an eating habit of eating at night. Okay. You sit on the sofa and you eat cookies and ice cream typically at night, right? So it's Monday, you start your diet and everything's going okay. You sit on the sofa and all of a sudden you get this craving, this urge. Hey, it's 8 o'clock. Let's eat some ice cream. And then your conscious mind comes running. No. We're on a diet. Remember, we just started a keto plan today. Come on. No, we're on a diet. Oh, okay. Right. A minute later. Hey, wait a second. What's going on? This feels weird. Why aren't we eating ice cream? Oh, because we're on a diet. We're on a diet. Okay. A minute later. Wait, what's going on? Where's the ice cream? No, we're on a diet. We're on a diet. Oh, a diet. It's this over and over and over. And it's tiring. To really give you an example of why weight loss is hard. It's not because the food's hard to give up. That's a part of it. The bigger part is that you're trying to consciously do something that's automated. To give you a real apples to apples comparison so you can understand why you struggled with this, it would be like you woke up one day and you said, you know what, today I'm going to brush my teeth with my other hand. I'm going to use my computer mouse with my other hand. And I'm going to hold my phone and use my phone with my other hand, right? Now you could do it. right? You could logically be very focused and you're thinking you could do it, but think about how much energy that takes, right? And very quickly, I challenge you, do it tonight when you're brushing your teeth with your hand. You will do it for 10 seconds and you will find that you're getting pissed off because you want to just do things on autopilot. That's how your brain is structured. It's one of the main organizing principles of your brain is to conserve energy. And so all of a sudden, it's estimated we make over 200 food decisions a day. So you start your diet, and of course your diet, right? You're doing everything perfect. And so now you're instantly taking conscious control over all of this stuff. So you get to 8 o'clock and you're just exhausted, you're pissed off, you're annoyed, not just because you're not eating your favorite foods, but because doing something that's automated consciously is annoying and irritating to the human brain. So anyways, your whole approach to losing weight is to consciously fight against your subconscious mind. It's a battle you're always going to lose and have been losing and will continue to lose if you keep approaching it that way. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is to use your conscious mind to program in new automated behaviors. You can do it. You did it with your toothbrushing, okay? But no one ever taught you how to do this. The toothbrushing thing just happened to you. That's worked out pretty well, hasn't it? Right? Because now you don't have to think about it. You just brush your teeth automatically. Pretty nice. Well, what if you started to go to bed earlier automatically? What if you started to drink more water automatically? What if you started to crave healthier foods automatically? What if you started to eat healthier, nourishing, slimming foods automatically? Oh, that's crazy. It's not crazy. I'm sitting right in front of them. I'm telling you, on my kids' lives, this is my life now. I did not start this way. You've got your toothbrushing habit. I've got like 8, 9 of those habits that just run automatically that are keeping me healthy. And then I got all my eating habits that I've programmed in. So I automatically do that. You see? And I don't want to make it sound, because this makes me crazy about hypnosis. It's not some magical thing where it's like you listen one time and now you're a different person. It is not that. So I want to be clear. It's a process, but it's a process that makes sense, folks, because you're a smart person. Here you are just twisting in the wind. You don't know shit about how to lose weight. That should be very concerning to you because you are a smart person. You've been at this for 20, 30, 40 years. And here you are. And if you're honest with yourself, you don't know anything more about how to lose weight than before you started your first diet. You are on a hamster wheel, dude. You are not getting anywhere. And it's true. And so again, what I suggest to you is that you start walking the path of mastery, because at least it makes sense, because in programming yourself, then I know you're going to make mistakes. See, what a crazy idea that you think tomorrow's Monday. So what? You're just going to eat perfectly starting tomorrow until you get to your goal weight. That's what you think. Why would you think that? That's never worked for you once. Why would you think? Again, it's magical thinking, and so you just imagine tomorrow's going to come and I'm just going to eat perfectly and I'm going to get to my goal weight. It's childlike. No offense. Don't take this the wrong way, because it's not even your fault. You've been conditioned to think this way by the diet industry. Diet industry ain't your friend. All the big diets you're even referencing subconsciously set you up for failure. Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Company owns Atkins Food Products. Same company owns Onions, Pretzels, and Cinnabon. Company owns Slim Fast. Same company owns Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Those diets don't work. They're the one little tactic. It doesn't work, man. It's not you. Anyways, so it's a different approach, and yeah, it just makes a lot more sense. Thoughts on intermittent fasting? Again, it's the same as my thoughts on any diet. If it works for you and you like it, do it. I use a version of intermittent fasting. It's not the full 15 hours. It's 12, 13 hours. And it really works for me. I love it, So again, and the golden rule of programming yourself then is there's no right or wrong. It's only what works for you. And I think if you start believing that and internalizing that, and you approach your weight mastery, building it around who you are, what a concept. Right? Because you're not doing that. You're taking some plan from up on high, from a person who's never met you, you've never met, and they're going to tell you how to eat from now on. And that's how you're going to eat for the rest of your life. Right? Okay. Well, let me tell you, while we're on it, if you're that type of person, you want to be told what to do, let me tell you what movies to watch, what music to listen to, what clothes to wear. Right? What, are you a human being? You're just going to let someone you don't even know just tell you how to eat forever? What if you hate that? You know what I mean? Like, you've got to stop giving away your power to these diets and these diet plans. Then you've got to start taking your power back and build a plan around you. Again, program yourself in. It's got these weight mastery blueprints. It's a mindset blueprint, lifestyle blueprint, eating a blueprint. And you build it around what you want to do. What I could sit here, I could sell a diet, just what I eat all week. Who gives a shit? You're not me. You don't like the foods I eat. You don't live my lifestyle. Why would I do that? It would never work. You've got to figure out what works for you. And once you do that, your chances of success go way up because you have a plan that's custom made for you. It fits you like a glove. Doesn't that make sense? I know it makes sense. But again, the point I want to make, this is the point I want to make here, is that it's a simple, obvious concept, but it's one you never think about. And that's the key thing. That's why the hypnosis in my program is so effective, because it's all these mantras, all these ways of thinking and seeing things that you never think, because you've never been conditioned. Where are you getting positive, supportive messages to be the thin, healthy, happy person you want to be? Where are you getting positive conditioning from? You think, write it in there if you want. Where are you getting positive, consistent positive support to become the person you want to be day in, day out? Because you're getting negative shit all day long. Food commercials, thousands of them every day, right? All day long, constantly. You're getting stuff, diet commercials constantly, but where are you getting constant conditioning, support, encouragement, thought patterns for being the person you want to be? Do you think that might be a problem? I think it would be. What can I do? I can't stop eating. Yeah, I mean, I can't stop eating. There's a lot to that, right? And so I could just hit the physical level. The physical level is you're probably eating a lot of processed foods, most likely, right? That's where I always start. So if you're eating a lot of processed foods, well, no shit. You know what I mean? Like, processed foods are designed by multi-billion-dollar companies with chemists and unlimited resources to make the most addictive food possible. Do you think it might work on you? Right. And secondly, if that's not the case, you're eating all healthy food, you can't stop eating, then it becomes mental and emotional, and yeah, I mean, there's just so many strategies. That's such a vague question that I can't go into it in a lot more detail. Pat says, I need help. Thank you. I'm not really hungry, but I don't like the taste in my mouth, and I'm not a fan of chewing gum. Okay. Is doing 10,000 steps a day good? Yeah, I think 10,000 steps a day is good. But, stuff I've read, it says it's the 10,000 is a little arbitrary. 7,000, if you get over that, super. 10,000 is probably even better, potentially, if you enjoy walking the 10,000, it fits in your lifestyle. But I think that the 10,000 thing's a little arbitrary. 7,000, if you get over that, I think you're going to be in good shape. And so if you get to 7,000, I guess what I'm trying to say, just I want to make it crystal clear. If you get to 7,500, don't feel less than, because you get to 10,000. That you did a great job. Good job. Nope. I have to remind myself daily to brush my teeth, or I won't even think of it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Well, so how do you remember to remind yourself? Come on. Hey, there's a lot of brains. Listen, I'll tell you one thing. There's 7 billion plus people on the earth. There's a lot of, so Christina, that may be you, but that's unusual. All right. But I would challenge that. I don't think, because how do you remind yourself then? Do you literally set an alarm on your phone like every day and it hasn't sunk in? There's a lot of different brains on the planet. So I'm not saying that's impossible. That's very unusual, but all right. Oh my God. Yes. So much true here. Yes, absolutely. How do you feel about Wegovy? I'm not against medicine. I don't think any of the semaglutides, I don't think that's going to end up being the ultimate answer. I have a lot of clients that are on it. It's not the miracle they make it out to be. When it does work, it usually works because it makes you nauseous all the time. So it's a very weird relationship you develop with food. You get very nervous and anxious about food. And so, if you're intending to be on the medicine for the rest of your life, and again, who knows what the long-term effects are going to be, we'll find out. I always rest against one thing that I can hang my hat on. I've been around for a little while, and you probably have been too. Out of all the miracle cures for weight loss, how many have panned out in our lives? How many? And so this one already, I see the bullshit marketing and I see the reality on the ground. And I don't think it's going to pan out to be the miracle thing they always say. And I think, again, I'm not against it. If you're diabetic, that's a different story, right? So I'm assuming you're asking in terms of weight loss. And I think relying on semaglutides forever to manage your weight is like a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. I don't think you're dealing with the core problem, is my take on it. Now, if you're diabetic and it's helping your insulin, production and all that, that's a different story. But if you're just using it for weight loss, not my first thing. But again, if you try everything, and you haven't tried everything, folks, never say that unless you really have genuinely done a mindset-based approach. But I've literally never before my program have I seen someone be like, yeah, no, I did do a mindset approach. I did this thing. I don't even know another mindset, because my program's not just hypnosis. You know what I mean? There's a 60-page workbook you go through with trainings for each part of it. I mean, there's so much information that you just don't have in your brain right now. That's the mindset I'm talking about. So anyways, what's up, all day removals and storage? What do you think about Wegovy? Hey, I want to lose weight, but Just love food so much, especially the unhealthy things. Yeah, I get that, Anna. That's everyone's challenge, you know. What I do, I will say, okay, so there's a difference. Where a lot of people do with weight loss, the way they approach it is they love the food, right? Food's pleasurable, it's really good. And their approach is I'm going to use my willpower to restrict the pleasure, right? So the way I need to create weight loss is I need to have less pleasure in my life. That's subconsciously how people are framing weight loss. In Program Yourself, then what we look to do is the food's pleasurable, no doubt. But who's Anna at her best? The best version of Anna possible that you can imagine. Feeling good, looking good, being good, better relationships, better ability to think clearly, earn more income if that's important to you. Whatever's important in your life, you being the best version of yourself, healthy, happy, looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to feel. That, Anna, is that pleasure higher than the food? And I don't know. Maybe it's not. And if that's the case, then stop worrying about weight loss and just enjoy the food. Weight loss ain't for everyone. And you weigh what you want, folks. We all get to choose the weight we want to live at. So if you want to enjoy the food and have extra weight, that's your right. And you should be able to do that free and clear, enjoy yourself. But if you're a person who's eating the food and wants to live a different lifestyle, wants to think you could feel better, have a better quality of life without so much food, without the weight, then I think you need to reframe this as not, okay, I'm going to lose weight, so less pleasure in my life and give up the food. And you need to really focus your brain on, I want to become the best version of me possible. And once you get that pleasure being the best version of you possible, and you think of that pleasure, when you think about it, your pleasure's up here and the food's down here, now you're set up for real success. All right. My Bible study friends. If you take sugar out of your diet, it takes away the hunger. Yeah, absolutely, Janet. Yeah, the sugar is definitely like that. How do you deal with binge eating urges? Okay, Frida, what I always say this is real quick is there's always two ways I approach binge eating. There could be more than this, but these are the two big ones. First one is a lot of times binge eating is a response to over restricting. You're cutting the calories so low that you can't control your eating. You get around food and you way overeat. So is that part of it? The other part is usually emotional, that you're eating. There's some big emotion you don't want to deal with. So you're using the binge eating and the shame cycle that follows to kind of keep yourself off that bigger emotional thing. Those are the two big ones. So ask those questions and start to notice it. Was just reading a New York Times. The weight loss drugs lose efficacy over time. Yeah. No shit. Right? I'm not even surprised by that. You're so spot on with everything you say. Sitting here shaking my head. Yes, exactly. I know, crafty granny, right? That's what I say every day. No one's saying what I'm saying, and it really is. It is good stuff for y'all. That's why I do it. Okay. Because again, I want to help you. I got to get out of here. I got a coaching call coming up, but if you're not in my world, again, go to my bio, click the link up at the top, my little face up at the left there, click on it, go to my bio, click the link, get your hypnosis session, listen to it. And then watch the training I give you. The training's the secret sauce. Go watch it. It's all free. Okay. And then I email you every day, positive, encouraging, supportive stuff to help you. Okay. And I got more trainings coming. Okay. Podcast is Program Yourself. Then YouTube channel is Jim Katsoulis. And obviously TikTok is Program Yourself. Then here, new videos coming all the time. If you haven't followed me, follow me. And I wish you could chat with my family that insists water fasting. Thank you much. You're a wonderful human being. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. And good luck with your water exercises. All right, everyone, have a super day. We'll talk soon. Bye.